the album Now and Never, so it comes out in 2012. It's the band's first new album in 22 years. What led to new music after such a long time?
I know that I had played with Kenny McLean for the better part of a decade, also with Robbie, and Robbie Laidlaw, yeah, and I know Kenny was always kind of urging Mark, let's get the band back together, let's go back out again. And he was very smart, and Kenny had a drive, and so I know that he had really planted that bug in Mark's ear. And I know when Kenny did his album release, he did a performance down at Mod Club. He had asked Mark about reuniting and getting it back together. And I pretty much believe that Mark said, yeah, we're going to do this. And then Kenny sadly passed away. So this was something that Mark, wanted to keep his promise to Kenny. But also too, I think deep down inside, Mark thought to himself that I'm ready for this. Let's do this. And as far as those songs are concerned, these are songs that he had been working on for a long time, when I heard the demos for the first time, I kept saying to myself, okay, well, there's a hit, so, it was, I knew that he was pretty prepared for what he wanted to do when he went into the studio to start recording these things. So 22 years of sitting there dormant, what can I say? Maybe deep down inside, Mark knew, okay, time is right. Between Kenny and thinking about it, let's do this.
And what thoughts, memories, emotions come back to you when you think to that album that kickstarted that, 10-year journey with Platinum Blonde?
Robbie Laidlaw said to me off the top, we are lucky enough to be involved in something that's going to make an impression. And he goes, this thing could be huge. It may not, and then he said, you want to be a part of it? Let's do this. And all right, let's do this. And I have to admit, I was very excited because again, I was in the 7th grade when that first song, Doesn't Really Matter, came out. And I remember as a kid on my BMX bike driving from Mannheim, Ontario, right into the heart of Kitchener to go to, Dutch Boy to buy the record, and keep it in the plastic bag and drive it all the way home, like pedal it all the way home and throw it on. It was great to have that opportunity to work with these guys.
And do you have any stories you can share about the recording of that album? Can you give us some Wizard of Oz behind the curtain stuff that went on? Do you remember going into the studio, setting up, jamming?
I do. We did it in a couple of different studios. Murray Daigle was the guy that engineered it, and Murray's fantastic. He's not only a fabulous engineer, he's also a songwriter and a great guitar player and singer too. So he knew the approach to take with this, and I'm sure he got himself he got himself kind of in the headspace ahead of time, as opposed to just someone who punches the clock. Like he takes a lot of pride in what he does. So it was great being in the studio with him, and I've actually been called in on sessions, and they'd say, where do you want to record? Let's go use Murray, because I've gotten to know him. But being in there, I remember setting up and laying some stuff down, and one of the first sessions we did though was up at Chalet in that's where Rush did 4 records up there in Claremont. It was exciting for me, again, going in there and being ready. And I was in there mostly with Rob, playing along together with him and laying down certain things and stuff. But sure, there were, it was performance driven. But of course, yes, they do tweak little things, and we're human beings, and they have to fix stuff and stuff. So sitting back and watching this, being in that environment with guys that are so fast, bang, 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 bang. Okay, we're done here. Next. That was a thrill for me, because I've done lots of sessions where you're in and out pretty quick. This being a part of it right from start to finish. So I remember doing Beautiful, and the song Beautiful, and there was a group of people at the time wanted us to do French version of it, for people like you, Joel, and so they had brought a translator in, and Mark was learning the words in French and singing them. So we were sitting back watching this, and it was fascinating to see how this was done. But as far as the experience, being in the studio with them, you learn everywhere, but I learned a lot on this record, how to do things and how they did things, and I appreciated it.
So the album had 2 singles. You already mentioned Beautiful. There's also Valentine. You guys made music videos for both of those. Can you share
Yes, we
with
did.
our listeners some insight into the making of those music videos? Because that's different than just recording music or playing live. It's completely different.
In the video for Beautiful, I think I spent an hour in makeup and hair for maybe that mere 3 seconds of Dan footage.
Did you feel beautiful after the makeup and hair?
I love that song. It's a great song. For Valentine, the whole Walking Dead concept, I thought it was so cool. And we went into this studio where there was these big screens where they would play the video movie in the background as we were playing, and it would shoot back and forth. So you'd see the band, and then you would see live footage of what was happening in the scene just prior. And I remember Mark explaining the concept to me when we first started working on it, and I really enjoyed this. It was a bunch of fun. So the just the whole biting of the eyeball and stuff. But yeah, the whole Walking Dead. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of a fun video where we're done up like the Walking Dead. We're living dead people. And I remember I was able to get the lenses in my eyes. And if you look at me in this, I look pretty dead. But towards the end of it, the funny thing is Mark's singing and his teeth start falling out. And Sergio's arm falls off. And Rob Laidlaw's head falls off. And then there's a shot of my foot and my ankle breaks. So I'm saying, how are these guys going to get me to do this? So they actually got me to take my pants off, put my hand down the leg of the pant, and put my foot in the shoe. So I go snap, 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 crunch. So it's not my foot that breaks; it's actually my hand in there. And to me, that was a lot of fun to do. It was a fun day.